Y'all ready? It's time to talk ball with Spunky Spectrum. Let's ride! Ow. Woke up in the morning, coffee in my hand, another season about to start. I'm the fantasy man, scouting sleepers, crunching numbers late at night, building rosters that gon' shine under them lights. From rookie watch to big revenge, I see it all, stacking points while the league's watching me ball. Best ball drafting, no waivers, just pure skill. I'm taking shots, watch the whole league getting killed. Yeah, the grind don't stop, the picks stay high. When the money's on the line, I connect the dots. We're talking fantasy football, best ball drafting deep. Spunky Spectrum spinning, put a league to sleep. 15 grand on DraftKings, cashed it like a king. Now the whole damn country know I run this thing. Yeehaw, raise them up, another W in the books. Fantasy king, got the trophies and the looks. From the podcast mic to the big check in my hand, this is Spunky Spectrum boys, the fantasy man. Best ball season.
Yo, it's time for college football. Driving Top Deduction, Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page, and let me see, Marcus's YouTube page. So we got Big Hoss and the Big D. Are we doing a radio show tonight?
Shit, it sounds like it.
I need one of those fancy microphones then.
You need one with a stand. You need one with an arm like mine.
I've only got this.
Oh, I got this big ass arm that it's got a boom arm. It can stretch out. That way people can see it and know, like, oh, I do sound good because I have a mic.
Yeah, Marcus, of course, from Louisiana. So, what are you? You are a McNeese alum and huge LSU fan, correct?
True that.
That's going to be weird because McNeese is going to Death Valley.
Actually, I didn't go to McNeese, by the way.
Sorry, not McNeese.
My sister's graduated from McNeese. McNeese is like our backyard college that we could cheer for because they're not on the same level as LSU, and they'll only play like once every 7 years, but they've only played like 3 times, and LSU blew them out all 3 times. No, I went to a junior college. I started at LSU Eunice, and then I finished up at the University of Houston.
Okay, so and didn't McNeese's basketball coach end up at LSU? That being Will Wade.
He's back, and he took that manager with him too. He took Ari with him.
Of course,
Amir Khan. He took Amir Khan with him.
Seems like 40 guys switch places year after year. I mean, sooner or later, it's not if somebody leaves, but how many guys bring, and hopefully things stay the same. By the way, have you been paying attention to this Raekwon White situation? This has been the craziest situation I can remember. Whether he's going to play in the NFL, or whether he's actually going to be able to play for LSU or anyone this year. What's the latest rumor you've heard?
Well, they made a decision. I guess the Big Ten had something to say about it, so the SEC was like, okay, we're just not going to be a part of this. And they've declined their returns to college football, which, I mean, they let you do it in basketball. But I feel like if you get a chance to declare the draft, then your career should be done in the college world. Even if, you don't get drafted, you get undrafted, sign as a free agent, make a practice squad, and get cut, I feel like you shouldn't still be allowed either way. Like, if you declare the draft, that's your ticket of saying, I'm done with college football. College, whatever, I'm done, goodbye. Now, I know some sports work different. I know they got college baseball players that get drafted while they're in college, but they're different world. They can decide to go pro or stay in school, but no, the SEC issued a following statement with that policy. The SEC is not permitted to have an athlete on its roster who had previously declared for the NFL, the NBA, or WNBA draft and did not appropriately withdraw. Sign a contract with an NFL or other professional league team. It could be NBA G League or WNBA affiliate, or been listed on an NFL or other professional football league, G League, or NBA league. The commissioner is authorized to enforce this expectation with penalties against member institutions. So, yeah, I guess they got tired of the bullshit they were getting. They were like, okay, we're not going to let this happen because, it would have changed the college. It would have changed everything if they'd let players who just left to go to the pros and then come back for one more year. But
that would have opened up too big a can of worms, right? But was the situation with Wright not about whether he played the NFL, but whether he had a year of eligibility left from his time in college?
I still think, even if you still had a year, I still believe that if you declare the draft, you shouldn't be allowed to come back. That was like your way of saying goodbye. But there were 2 Ole Miss players that were trying to come to play for Lane Kiffin at LSU. One was with the Cleveland Browns. The other one was with the Saints. And they had the graphics made in case they got it approved, but no, they said no.
And then, of course, we know Trinidad Chambliss tried about 800 times and eventually got an extra year in Oxford.
So I had a feeling that was coming, but at least he never declared the draft. I get his situation was a little different. I still blame COVID. I think he was a redshirt when COVID happened. He's one of the last people to have that ineligible year stuff with COVID happening, because there were some players that got to play when they were like 25, 26 years old. And then
wasn't Carson Beck like a 6-year player?
Yep, Carson Beck was one of them too. Another one was TJ Finley, the guy that had the most transfers than any other guy in the college world, and he's a Louisiana guy. That boy went to 6 or 7 different schools in like 4 or 5 years.
That's nuts.
Like, I lost count where he all went. I know he started at LSU, then he went to Auburn. Then at one point he went to like Texas State at one point, went to Incarnate Word, went to Tulane. I'm going to have to pull this up. Like, it was insane. And we laughed like, where is TJ Finley going to end up next?
It's like, you remember the game when we were kids, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the World is Mr. Finley?
So here it is right here. Well, his college career is over with. He played for 6 colleges. He started at LSU in 2020, transferred to Auburn. That's the longest he was at. He played 2 seasons at Auburn, then transferred to Texas State in 2023, Western Kentucky in 2024, Georgia State in 2025, and Incarnate Word in 2026. I thought Tulane was up there, but I think Tulane declined him.
Well, thankfully, everything seems to be figured out for now. Back to 2026. I don't know what it is, but this season, particularly at LSU, is going to be one of the most anticipated only because of who's coaching. I mean, we know that Lane Kiffin dissed Ole Miss and went to LSU in the playoff. He's going to be Benedict going on. Going to save the week 3 game, but the expectation for Baton Rouge to see you all win the national championship every year. And how do you think Lane Kiffin fits LSU?
We're the bad guys right now, and it feels good to be the bad guy. We're giving everyone a reality of what we went through when we lost Nick Saban. Nick Saban went to the NFL for 1 or 2 years and then comes back to the college world, but went to one of our most hated rivals. Except Lane Kiffin jumped straight to the rival. He didn't go to the NFL. He came a state over. He came to Baton Rouge and took some players with him. Lost some recruiting to come to us instead of Ole Miss. We're about to make the Magnolia Bowl irrelevant again. It's one of the oldest rivalries in the SEC that had a back and forth situation. Now this rivalry is about to mean something. and it's going to be big enough where it's not going to be played at the end of the season because, Ole Miss got to close out with Mississippi State every year with the Egg Bowl. And we're going back to basics and closing out with Arkansas, the Golden Boot. I wish it'd be back on Black Friday, but we're playing it on Saturday instead. But the Magnolia Bowl is going to be we're going to take it to a higher level. It's going to be as high as Michigan, Ohio State, or the Red River rivalry, or Cascade Clash, or even Florida State.
I mean, we'll talk more about the Magnolia Bowl, but, this LSU team's got a lot of talent, a lot of transfers. Surprise with Lane Kiffin. Mr. Levin, who led Arizona State to the playoff a couple years ago, a guy named Cam Scatterbo. So, how do you think Sam Levin will be this year in his first season as a Bayou Bengal?
I think he's going to surprise people. I mean, look what happened the last time we got a quarterback from Arizona State. He won a Heisman Trophy.
Did pretty well. Now, hopefully, maybe Jane Daniels passes the number with a little more class, but that's either near or there.
I mean, he's got some great targets to throw at. I mean, like Eugene Wilson, for example. I mean, we're going to have. I'm more concerned about I'm more worried about the defense. I think Lane Kiffin put a stacked offense with Sam Levitt. He's going to have some. I'm trying to pull the offense back up to see who else he got like as receiver targets. Jace Brown, Jackson Harris, Eugene Wilson. And even Winston Watkins and even Trades Green at tight end. So he's got some targets outside of like Caden Durham at running back or even Harlan Berry if they rotate them around. Their offense is going to be stacked. Yep, him too. I'm more worried about the defense, but at least we got our number one guy back on defense, Whit Weeks. He's coming back for his senior year. And we got DJ Pickett, who's going to be wearing Jaden's number, by the way. Still got him. Now, that could be an impact player on defense. That was another name I mentioned when I previewed LSU a few weeks ago. But all I said was, I've told everybody this because they're like, what you think Lane Kiffin going to do his first year? I said, I just want them in the playoffs. I said, when I looked at the schedule, I said 10-2. Make the playoffs, and we have a home playoff game. I don't want a first round bye. I want to experience what a playoff game would be like on a Saturday night in Death Valley. That's a goal right there I would want to see. I've been a season ticket holder for so many years. I've been to over 70 games in my life. I would love to experience a playoff atmosphere in Baton Rouge. On the other hand, the following year, so this year, the national championship's in Vegas. The following year, it's in the Superdome. The last 5 times the national championship's in the Superdome, they were in it. Won 4 out of 5. Make it 6. I think his second year, they're going to win national title number 5.
That's saying something. And you know what? That's saying something. LSU's home away from home is the Superdome. I mean, we know how many LSU fans are in the Big Easy. I mean, it's an easy drive for you.
70 miles. Baton Rouge is 70 miles. Now, the last time they played there, yeah, they lost. Brian Kelly's debut, they lost to Florida State. And on a missed
extra point.
Missed 2-point conversion.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Well, you know what?
No,
it was a blocked extra point. I'm sorry. It was a blocked extra point. I left in the third quarter. It was that bad. I left in the third quarter, and I just watched it on the way home, and I was furious. But his first, I know I don't want to bring him back up again. I will credit Brian Kelly, even though my feet are itching. Even though he lost his debut game, his first year was iconic. He did beat Alabama his first year, and he brought him to the SEC championship when we were not supposed to be there, even though we lost to Georgia. So I'll give him credit for his first year making it mean something, but I still say every year in 2023, when Jaden Daniels won the Heisman, if we'd have had a defense, they would have been a playoff contender. Because how how odd is you? How does a college football team have the number one offense in the country but the worst defense in the country?
Well, 2007 Florida had Tim Tebow win the Heisman, and yet that defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. You remember the game where LSU had like 5 fourth down conversions, with seemingly Jacob Hester getting 3rd and 1 every single time.
I was at that game, and I was at the 05 game when LSU won on a Hail Mary. By the way, my favorite Florida Gator was Percy Harvin.
Oh, yes. Yeah, by the way, that guy could play.
The last time I saw LSU play Florida, that was when Trevor Etienne was a Gator, and the whole town of Jennings, Louisiana showed up, and Jayden Daniels had over 400 passing yards and over 200 rushing yards, and at least Trevor got on the board. Trevor had, I think, like a 1 or 2 yard touchdown, and he had like 97 yards. I remember I recorded his stats when I went, but
you know, I don't know. Brian Kelly just never seemed like the LSU guy. It seemed like he went there for the money and for golf. And we know Lane Kiffin. He's coached at USC. He's coached at Tennessee. Coached at Ole Miss. This guy. How do you think Lane Kiffin will fare at LSU? Because there might not be a harder place to coach in the sport than maybe, I don't know, Ohio State, Alabama. Am I crazy?
I think he'll pick up where he left off from Ole Miss, because I feel like the SEC is the toughest to coach at. And look what Lane Kiffin did with Ole Miss that 1 year. Took them to the playoffs as a semifinalist. I think he's just going to pick up where Brian Kelly left off and turn him something there. And, yeah, Brian Kelly was awkward in the atmosphere. I don't have to worry about that fake Cajun accent anymore.
You just need more visors on the sideline.
Hey, I like a good visor too. Lane Kiffin wears visors, but I gave that man 3 to 5 years to bring us to the playoffs or a national championship. He ain't got us there. After that Vandy loss to Diego Pavia, I said I'm done with Brian Kelly. He's got to go.
I think what Lane Kiffin can do. We know college football is different. It's not always about recruiting, but getting the right players. LSU's always going to attract players, but getting the right players for that coach. Look at Indiana last year. I don't think Indiana's talent was Ohio State or Oregon or Miami, but Kurt Cinetti got that team to play together very well. Well, the key with Lane Kiffin, can he get those guys going? Because a lot of these guys coming from Arizona State or Ole Miss or whatever. Talent accumulation is one thing, but cohesion, particularly early without a preseason, is going to be difficult.
Sorry, my mic was on mute. I was going to say, yeah, I agree.
And, first game, we remember last year, LSU Clemson in the other Death Valley. Well, Clemson's Death Valley, not necessarily the greatest offensive showcase. I think that put everyone to sleep when Nussmeier and Kate Klubnik played last year.
Yeah, that one was a game that made me nervous. Because at one point I thought they were going to blow it, but then they woke up in the second half and just handle it. But I people are still hyped for the debut, but I feel like it's not as hyped anymore, because at first it was supposed to be like a top 15 matchup, but Clemson's not even ranked in the AP preseason poll anymore. They were taken off. LSU was like 13th. Clemson got taken off, so it's like the vibe kind of was killed. But it's still going to get electric. College game day is still going to be there. It may not be a top 15 matchup no more, but they're going to treat it like it's a playoff atmosphere.
I feel like part of Clemson's problem is that Dabo has not invested in the NIL program. He wants to create family. I think Dabo's become a little stubborn. He doesn't want to go in the transfer portal. Clemson not getting the same guys because there's no way there's no way if Deshaun Watson, not the one playing for the Cleveland Browns today, but if the Deshaun Watson we remember from Clemson would have been available, he's not going to Clemson. Same thing with Trevor. He would have ended up at Georgia or Tennessee. See, and honestly, part of me thinks this might be Dabo's last year.
Yeah, he's kind of in the hot seat right now, and I don't even know who's going to be the starting quarterback yet for Clemson because Kate Klubnik's in the NFL now. So
with the Jets.
Yep.
So honestly, well, as you know, SC schedules are difficult, and LSU schedule is very difficult this year. Not just Clemson week 1, but the certain week 3 game. I'm just saying, the Grove has seen some crazy atmospheres. I remember Peyton Manning playing Ole Miss back in the 90s. I don't think that wasn't at the Grove. That was at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis. But what kind of reception will Lane Kiffin get in his Oxford return middle of September? I'm just thinking there might be more boos for Lane Kiffin than there'd be more boos for Deshaun Watson when he takes the field for the Browns.
You're talking about when they go to Ole Miss? Oh yeah, they're gonna boo the shit out of him out there. They're gonna boo him out of the Grove. And I'm ready for it. Like the anticipation for that game is like any other. Like we knew when they just announced Friday that week 3 college game day is going into LSU Ole Miss. We knew they were going.
Oh, 100%. We know Fowler and Herbie are going to be there.
We knew they were going. Now, who are you going to put as your celebrity guest picker? Whatever you do not bring Katy Perry back, please. I'm so tired of. I stopped eating corn dogs because of her.
Hey, at least Ole Miss won that game, but at least Ole Miss beat Alabama that game.
It took me like months to be like, why is she pulling a corn dog out? What does that got to do with LSU fans? Like, are she trying to say we smell like corn dogs? Because corn dogs don't stink.
You know what? For that game, there's only one person that ESPN should bring back as the celebrity guest picker, and you and I both know who it is. It's a Manning.
Eli.
But it's not Eli.
Archie?
Cooper.
Oh, Cooper? If anything, they probably would bring back I could see Eli Manning as a celebrity guest picker because he's from Louisiana. Even though his daddy, he probably grew up an Ole Miss fan, even though he probably did root for LSU. By the way, I was blessed to see LSU and Ole Miss in 2002. I got to see Eli play before he got drafted in 2004. So I got to see one Manning play in college. I was unfortunate not to see the other two.
By the way, Eli Manning went into LSU and beat the Bayou Bengals 2003, if my memory serves me right.
Yep, and that was in Oxford. Because when we went in 02, we won that game, and he got taken out at one time with a busted elbow. He had a severe bloody elbow, but they let him back in the game, but he missed like 2 series because I think he had a cut so deep in his elbow they had to like wrap it up good, and I think he got stitched up after the game. But I remember he missed like 2 series because they had to wrap up his elbow and everything, but he still played. But no, and I'm telling you, the security, you're gonna think Trump's in town because there's gonna be SWAT teams everywhere. There's gonna be security out the ass. Mississippi State Police. The damn national security is going to be there. Like the security is going to be intense.
Oh, sorry. 2001, I think, was the year Ole Miss beat LSU. Thank you. 2001 was the year Ole Miss beat LSU in Death Valley. That
Well, maybe it was 03 I went. I thought it was in 02 they played in Death Valley. Maybe it was 03.
No, I was thinking. I remember the 30 for 30 where Eli beat Auburn and LSU. But I didn't know what year it was. Not that it matters. Back to LSU's schedule. Not only do you go to Oxford, but you play Alabama at home. You play Texas at home. Go to go to Tennessee, correct?
Yeah.
And then I think you go at A&M, which is never easy.
Okay, so I have it right here. So, first two games are at home. Yeah, Clemson and Louisiana Tech at home. Ole Miss first road game. Then you got back-to-back home games again. You got A&M and McNeese at home.
Okay,
then
A&M at home, so that's
October
and then
10th.
at Kentucky.
Yep, that's their second road game. Then they got Mississippi State at home. That's their homecoming game. October 24th, they go to Jordan-Hare to Auburn.
Oh, that's never fun.
That's going to be a struggle win for them. I have them winning, but I said it's a struggle win because Jordan-Hare is a dangerous place to play, and
That's a haunted house. That's a haunted house. Nick Saban said that many, many times.
They haven't played the Tiger Bowl, I think, since 2020. I think was the last time they played it.
Wow.
2019, I was at that game. That was the worst performance I've ever seen Joe Burrow and them play with that offense. They almost blew the game, and they only won because Bo Nix overthrew his receiver on the last play of the game, and they won 13-10. But they got a bye week on Halloween. They always have a bye week before Alabama, but Alabama's coming to town. Texas, that's their only home loss. When Steve Sarkisian and Arch Manning and Texas come to town, I have them losing to Texas. And if they lose back-to-back, I think they're going to lose at Tennessee because it's in Neyland. It's at Rocky Top. But Arkansas, I think they're going to beat Arkansas on the road.
I mean,
10-2.
And LSU being 10-2, good chance you're a playoff team. Knock on wood.
They'll be 9-0 before they get their first loss. They'll be undefeated when they lose to Texas. Because I have them beating Alabama too.
How do you think the SEC goes this year? Because, I mean, you did an SEC preview, I think, last week. I mean, if you look at it, Georgia's always good. I mean, Kirby Smart and Georgia will always be there. Texas with Arch Manning, Star, but they have a brutal schedule this year. Of course, LSU. How good will Alabama be this year after a stinker in Pasadena?
I'll tell you what. I actually have all that saved from last week. I haven't deleted it yet, so I can tell you, if you haven't watched or if the listeners are listening, I can tell you who I have for every SEC team's predictions.
Go ahead.
Hang on. I'm still figuring out this new damn generation iPad.
Excuse me.
All right. So Alabama, I have them going 9-3, missing the playoffs.
Somebody's in trouble then.
Their losses are Georgia, Tennessee, and LSU.
Oof.
And I said as a bonus, I said I was going to put a favorite player from each school when I did this with Trey. The only Alabama player I've ever enjoyed watching was Mark Ingram. And I was so the only time in my life I was so glad we got someone from that fucking Crimson Tide on the Saints. That was a steal when we got him and Cameron Jordan same year in 2011. Best draft day ever. Arkansas, I got Bacon Bits going 3-9. And their only wins are North Alabama, Tulsa, and Vanderbilt. And I loved Darren McFadden.
Yeah, that guy was fast.
Auburn, I have Auburn going 5-7. I didn't remember who the wins and losses were, but I think this. If I would have said Bo Jackson if I was alive during that time, but I enjoyed Cam Newton. He was my guy. I liked him. Okay, Georgia. I have Georgia going 12-0. 12-0, and they're going to play in the SEC championship with Texas.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia's schedule this year is actually friendlier than most. I mean, looking at Georgia's schedule from an SEC schedule, I mean, they get Oklahoma, at Alabama, at Ole Miss, but I mean, they avoid Texas, they avoid LSU, and of course Georgia Tech and Atlanta. But that's a pretty good. That's a very workable schedule.
Yeah. But I have them going to the S. Now it's who I have winning the SEC. I'm not 100% sure yet. It could go either way, but I got Georgia and Texas in the SEC championship. And favorite Georgia Bulldog, like if I was alive during that time, I'd have said Herschel Walker, but my guy was Hines Ward.
Oh gosh, and he was a quarter, and yeah,
He was a quarterback and got moved to
quarterback in the '90s.
So I have now Florida, and y'all picked up John Summerall from Tulane, first-year head coach with the Gators, picking up John Summerall, who brought Tulane to the playoffs. I got Florida going 6-6, bowl eligible though. But their losses, I got them losing to Ole Miss, Missouri, Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Florida State.
I think Florida beats Florida State this year.
Kentucky, I got and I told you I love Percy Harvin. Kentucky, I got going 3-9. But I loved Randall Cobb at Kentucky. He was badass over there. I said LSU go 10-2, losing to Texas and Tennessee, make the playoffs. But I've always been asked who. I mean, it was hard to pick a favorite. Like, who is my favorite LSU Tiger of all time that I love watching? Well, he wore number 7, but I was a toss-up with Patrick Peterson and Tyrann Matthews. Those were my 2 all-time favorites outside of – and I didn't want to get bashed for saying Jamarcus Russell because he was my favorite quarterback despite the route he went after leaving LSU. Getting fat, being 300 pounds at quarterback, and stealing money from schools. That took that away from me.
I think I'd probably take Ja'Marr Chase for that crazy year he had in 2019.
Yeah, they had so many. I got to watch so many great names over the years. Ole Miss, I got Ole Miss going 9-3 though. Maybe possibly a playoff contender, maybe, but they're losing to LSU, Texas, and Georgia for sure.
By the way, that Ole Miss Louisville game on Labor Day weekend is going to be very interesting.
Well, I know I would love Louisville to win, but I picked Ole Miss for that one. And of course, I'm gonna say Eli for that one. Okay, Mississippi State, the Temu Bulldogs of the SEC. I got them going 3-9, and they'll be on the bottom of the totem pole because I have them not winning a single SEC game. Their only wins are going to be their only non-conference games, UL Monroe, Tennessee Tech, but have the audacity to upset Minnesota week 2. Because it's in Starkville and them cowbells are going to be banging when Minnesota come to town. So, and
by the way,
it hurt
by
me.
the way, what do you have Texas this year?
I'm just saying these in order. I'm gonna just run through them. Missouri.
No, I mean I just want to hear Texas.
I got Texas going 11-1. You ready for this though? Big bad Texas. Every time they get a win streak, they think they back and it's horns up. They'll still go to the SEC championship, but they're not going with a perfect record because I think this is going to be the year Baby Brother's going to end their streak. They're going to be 11-0 going to A&M, and A&M's going to give them their only loss of the season. They're going to lose that very last game at the end before they go play Georgia in the SEC championship.
I don't know what to think of A&M because that performance in the playoff with the quarterback having a stinker was not good.
And I got A&M with a decent record. I got them going 9-3. But their biggest win, that'll be their biggest win. the loss that's going to really hurt them is Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got Oklahoma beating A&M.
Okay, so I mean, nothing crazy. Looking at excuse me, I think I'm getting a cold, but looking at the rest of the country right now, I mean, we spent so much time about the SEC because you're in Louisiana, but has the Big Ten taken over the top conference from the SEC?
They got a long way to go if they want to be like the SEC. How many years in a row was it that LSU won the SEC won the BCS national championship? They went. It started with Florida. Then like after Texas won it, so like it was Florida in 06, LSU in 07, Florida in 08, Alabama in 09, Auburn in 2010, Bama in 11 and 12. They're 8 years in a row, 8-year stretch winning straight national titles. Big Ten's only won 3 in a row. If you can win 6 more in a row, then you can have the crown. But yeah, you did it with 3 different teams, shockingly. Ohio State first, then Michigan and Indiana. Now, if they were able to make it 4 in a row, I feel like the only team that can maybe do that is Ohio State. But I think I had Ohio State going 11-1 in the regular season. I have to pull their schedule up again.
Ohio State's got maybe the hardest schedule in the country this year. They play everybody. They go to Austin week 2.
Yeah, I have them losing
at Iowa, at USC, at Indiana, and then of course play Oregon and Michigan. If Ohio State goes 12-0, then Ryan Day will win Coach of the Year.
I have them go. Their best record, I think, is 11-1 because they're going to lose to Texas for sure. Let's see, Ball State cakewalk, Texas they lose into Texas. Kent State cakewalk, Illinois cakewalk, Iowa could be a struggle win. It's in Kinnick Stadium. Maryland, that's a win. Indiana, I mean, I don't know. I mean, how many guys? I mean, they lost a few players from that national championship team, but I think they might bounce back and beat Indiana.
I'll tell you in that game at Indiana, I think Indiana's got a coaching advantage in that game, and who knows whether the quarterback from TCU will be great as a Hoosier. We'll see. Maybe.
I mean, yeah. I get what Cignetti did. He took a team from nothing and turned them into a perfect season and all, but eventually that's going to – I can see College Game Day maybe hitting up Bloomington for this matchup. I definitely see this as a top 10 matchup. If Indiana can stay winning, I'd have to pull their schedule up, but USC win. Oregon, it's in Columbus. I'm giving Ohio State a win there. Northwestern's a blowout. Nebraska Michigan, they're going to beat Michigan too. I've been hearing a lot of negativity about Michigan. They don't rely on Bryce Underwood. So 11-1 or 10-2 for Ohio State. They'll lose to Texas for sure. Indiana is kind of a question mark right now, but I have them beating everybody else.
I mean, how good will Oregon, Indiana, and maybe USC be this year?
Let me see what Oregon got. I know they got a good quarterback, but that's if Oregon can win and make the playoffs. So let's see. Boise State's actually going to be a good test. They'll probably win, but Boise State and Oregon's a rivalry. Oklahoma State, that's a win. Portland State, blowout. USC could be a toss-up. UCLA, that's a win. Nebraska's a win. Illinois is a win. Northwestern's a win. Ohio State's a loss. Michigan should be a win. Michigan State should be a win. And then Washington, that's a toss-up. They could be 9-3 or 10-2. Because Cascade Clash.
I'm telling you, I think this is the best Oregon team I can remember. And I would not be surprised if Oregon made it 4 straight Big Ten national champs. That's how good I think Dan Lanning is the coach. I think Dante Moore will be better than he was last year, where he really struggled against Indiana.
Now, Dante, I could see as a Heisman contender. Their quarterback. I can see him as a Heisman contender, but I'll bring that up in a bit. But Indiana, okay, this is their schedule. North Texas win, Howard win, Western Kentucky win, Northwestern win, Rutgers win. But then these next three, one of these three I feel like is going to be a loss. Nebraska, Ohio State, and Michigan. They're going to probably drop one of the three or two out of the three. Then Minnesota should be a win. USC could be a toss-up. Washington could be a toss-up, but they beat Purdue at the end. So they could, if they make the playoffs, I see them as a first round, in the first round, going with 10-2, 9-3. But Indiana barely make the playoffs. And if Cignetti
does USC end up making the playoff?
Let's see what I got them at. Let's see. They'll start off 4-0. I'll give them a 4-0 start. San Jose State win. Fresno State win. Raging Cajuns win. UL be lucky if they score. Rutgers win. Oregon, toss-up. Washington, toss-up. Penn State, that's a loss.
No, yeah, that's a loss for Penn State because USC will go there and win.
If it's a 4:30 game. I thought it was going to be a night whiteout. So I mean, Wisconsin, that should be a win. Ohio State, that'll probably be a loss. Indiana's a loss. Maryland, UCLA, Maryland will be a win. UCLA might be a toss-up. But UCLA's been shit lately. They probably will beat UCLA. So 9-3 or 8-4 for USC. Hang on, I want to pull this up. Give me. Hang on, let me get the list ready so I don't get a name wrong. But Boa, since we're talking these football players, usually around this time you're going to see some international high school football games on ESPNU. I'm going to give you three names I saw that come from greatness. I got to see Peyton Manning's oldest son, he plays for Baylor High School in Tennessee. I got to see him play as a second-string freshman. He got to get in the game, and his first pass was 9 yards. So I got to see Peyton Manning's son play. Luke Bryan's son is a quarterback. I got to see him play a game somewhere in Georgia. And Lil Wayne's oldest son is a kicker for Gainesville High School in Georgia. I don't know how bad they lost, but I know they played the number one team in the state of Georgia, and he kicked a 35-yard field goal on national television. So that was some of the international action I got to see this weekend.
Under the ACC this year, where, to be honest with you, I think it's Miami's conference, and everybody else is playing for second. I think Mario Cristobal has done a great job at his alma mater, and I don't know about you, but that offense with Mensa coming in from Duke, it's going to score some points.
Yeah, I think this is Miami's, but who can Miami play in the ACC championship? That's a good question. Maybe Louisville, maybe North Carolina. I'm gonna take North Carolina out the question. Belichick ain't gonna bring them this shit. I know Louisville and Miami was a heated rivalry. I guess let me go back and look at how the ACC was last year to kind of do a teaser of who I think can win the ACC championship.
Well, Duke won the ACC championship last year.
They ain't winning it again.
Probably.
I mean,
especially not without Mensa.
I forgot they were in the. You know what? I mean, I got Miami in the title game, but if it's not Virginia, I might throw in like SMU.
Yeah, I mean, SMU's got a tricky schedule. They play Notre Dame, I think, late in the year, but SMU, not the worst bet. Louisville, James Franklin now at Virginia Tech. By the way, I think there will be a new coach at Florida State after this year, but that's either near everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, and on to the Big 12. Who do you see out of that conference? Could Houston make a run? I mean, we know. I think Tech would be the big favorite, but we know what happened with Mr. Sorsby and betting one or too many, and betting once or twice too many.
Yeah, that conference. Tech with all I had Texas Tech as a heavy favorite, but with all the shit that happened there, I think their run is done. Um, as long as it's not BYU in it. BYU
I mean,
will.
BYU's got a really good coach and a bear at quarterback.
Well, I have Iowa State as a Big 12 contender.
How in the heck can you have Iowa State as a Big 12 contender when half the teams with Matt Campbell and Happy Valley?
I never said they were going to win it all. I said I have them as a chance to go. No, I didn't even tell you who my prediction was to win the Big 12. That's an easy pick. I got Utah winning the Big 12.
It's not. Well, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I think the Big 12 just so wide open this year because it's not a dominant team. Before we go, I think we have to talk about Notre Dame. I don't know about you. Notre Dame's schedule is you know what, but that team is awesome. I think Coach Williams done a whale of a job, and this might be the first time in forever that Notre Dame can play with any team. Notre Dame, when Notre Dame played Alabama in the BCS title game down here in Miami, they had no chance. But I've seen Notre Dame play Georgia. They matched up, even that Ohio State game. Notre Dame played pretty well for a while.
I got no. Despite the schedule, I think Notre Dame can go no worse than 10-2, maybe 11-1.
Oh, I think Notre Dame at Wolves going 11-1. They played nobody outside BYU, SMU, and Miami, and
I got them losing to Navy.
Shut the front door.
I'm calling it. That's a huge rivalry. I'm picking Navy over.
I know that's a rivalry, and I think that's at MetLife Stadium too.
That's at Gillette.
Gillette, excuse me, thank you.
But
Notre Dame's not losing to the Naval Academy.
Bring your Boston Celtic gear to wear when they play the midshipmen, if you got to. No, I got them losing to Navy in Miami. Catholics versus convicts. I can't wait for that one.
Oh.
And I'm gonna pick the convicts. I'm Catholic. I'm gonna pick Miami in that one. But even though it's in South Bend, I'm picking the Miami Hurricanes.
Wonder if there'd be snow for that game.
Shit, they can handle it. I got 2 questions for you. You can call it a trivia if you like.
Shoot.
I had it ready too. I had one ready. Hold on. They're both involved. Well, actually, this one ain't even a trivia question. Give me your top 5 to win the Heisman this year.
Let me think. Do I start with 1 or do I start with 5?
You can start with whatever.
Well, you know what? My number 1's easy. It's Mr. Mensa in Miami. I think he's going to win the Heisman.
You're talking about I just saw his picture on here. I think he's a linebacker or something for Miami.
Darian Mensa, the quarterback from Duke, who's now at Miami. I think Mensa's going to win the Heisman this year.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different Miami player. Never mind.
2, I think Dante Moore. And then I'm throwing in CJ Cole from Notre Dame. I have to include an Ohio State Buckeye because I think one of the Buckeyes will be really good this year. But I'm not going to take the quarterback. I'm going to take Jeremiah Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And 5, Do I take him? Part of me almost no. Archman, no. You know what? Part of me almost wants to see what Sam Levin does at LSU this year.
That'd be crazy. They already told. Maybe if he comes back next year, I can have him as a Heisman contender. But okay, I didn't want to put two guys from Ole Miss. I was stuck with either Trinidad Chambliss or Kawan Lacey, so I'm gonna say Trinidad Chambliss.
Chambliss be another good one too, but
so I'll say him. And I don't want to put all SEC guys, but see, I was stuck with these two quarterbacks. I was stuck with either an Arch Manning or a Gunnar Stockton. Whoever dominates the SEC championship.
I'm not sure Gunnar Stockton's that great because when I've seen him play in the playoff, Gunnar Stockton looks overmatched against Riley Leonard and Trinidad Chambliss.
All right, so I'll say Arch Manning 2.
Yeah.
3, I'll say Malachi Toney from Miami.
Ooh, I like the way you're thinking.
Dante Moore for Oregon. I mean, I want Malachi to win it all, but I feel like it's going to come down to him or Dante. And then 5th, I'll say Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. Backup, like an honorable mention. I might be crazy saying this, but honorable mention, I'm gonna go with John Mateer from Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, well Mateer wasn't himself after hurting the finger, but the first few weeks Mateer was awesome. That Michigan game was fan. I thought Mateer played really well in that game.
All right, here's my trivia for you. Give me. I know there's only 3. If you want to talk about Power 4, there's only 3 schools in the state of Florida. But I mean, unless you want to throw UCF or South Florida in, but they don't even make this list. Give me the last Heisman winners from each Power 4 school in the state of Florida.
Okay, from Florida State, Miami, and Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Miami would have been Miami. Well, Miami's easy because that's Cam Ward from a couple years ago. Florida State would be James Winston, 2013.
Well, Cam Ward didn't even win the Heisman.
Wait a minute. Cam Ward won.
No, he was just the number 1 overall pick. No,
no, Cam Ward won the Heisman in 24.
Travis Hunter won it in 20.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so then, thank you. So, Gino Torretta, 92. 92.
Yep.
James won in 2013, and my guy won it for Florida in 2007.
Tim Tebow. Yep, you got it right.
Idiots.
And Kim Ward, I think, was just a Heisman finalist, but we knew Mendoza won it, and then 24, that was Travis Hunter. And
yeah, I should know Travis Hunter because he's on my team. By the way, I got one for you. Who was Houston's last Heisman Trophy winner?
George. Eddie George.
No, Houston. Wait. The University of Houston's last Heisman Trophy winner.
Oh, shit. Andre Ware. I'm sorry. Fuck. I'm thinking of fucking. I don't know why I was thinking Eddie George. No, Andre Ware. That was our only Heisman
Eddie George
winner.
went to Ohio State in the 90s.
I don't know why I'm thinking of something else, but no, Andre Ware. That was their only Heisman winner, and he won it the year I was born. He won it in '89.
Okay.
And he was the only time College Game Day went to UH when they played SMU. He was the celebrity guest picker. He was there when Corso dropped the fuck it.
I think I remember that thing.
That was in 2000. I think that was in 2009. He did that when Houston played SMU. It was College Game Day was in Houston. The only time they went to U of H, and Andre Ware was the guest picker. And then that was when he threw the megaphone. And it was like, fuck it. Funny, it's still one of the funniest moments ever. They got like a statue for him and everything outside of TDECU Stadium.
So, who do you think plays for the Natty and wins it this year?
Well, here's my thing. I guess another question. Give me your top 4 Like, give me your Final Four in the college football playoffs, and then I'll do a national championship.
Miami, Oregon, Notre Dame, and Texas.
Miami, Ohio State, or if Oregon can get that far, it'd be crazy. But in either Georgia or Texas, whoever wins the SEC is going to have a deep run. But I have Georgia and Ohio State. First I had Georgia, Ohio State, but then I changed it to Georgia and Miami in the national championship. Because I have Kirby winning a third title.
I think it's going to be a Mario Cristobal Bowl for the national championship game between Oregon and Miami. And I think there's a Cat 5 hurricane brewing because I think we can cue the Ducks winning it all this year. I think the Ducks win it all this year.
If Oregon wins the national championship, hell will freeze over.
Well, you
Two
know,
times they went. Well, I knew they could. I knew they wasn't going to beat Auburn that year. But when they played Ohio State, I was rooting so hard for them Ducks, and they lost.
I knew they didn't have a chance against the Buckeyes. I'm like, yeah. And I have friends who went to that game.
And that was when JT Barrett was a freshman playing quarterback against Mariota, and that was Mariota.
No. JT Barrett was hurt in the Michigan game, and that was when Cardell Jones won that game.
Okay.
That's when Ezekiel Elliott went for like 900 yards in the play against Wisconsin, Alabama, and Oregon.
Yeah, and then he showed up to the NFL draft like one of the inmate cheerleaders from the longest yard, and got drafted to the team that he won a national championship in their stadiums. He went to the Dallas Cowboys, which I'm pretty sure he's still with the Cowboys now, huh? Or is he a free agent?
I think Ezekiel Elliott's done playing, but who knows?
I know they still got Dak, and all I've been hearing, this is our year. Why? Because you're 2-0 in preseason? That don't mean shit.
I don't even care about the preseason because the all starters haven't even played. But
I'm so sick. I feel like they need to cut preseason down a bit. I tell people, this is why I don't do fantasy drafts until the 2 days before the first game of the season.
I'm doing my fantasy football draft on Monday, and I have the first pick, so I'm hoping to be.
The injury bug has killed us. We now have 23 players injured.
Oh, Lord.
The Seahawks had 3 season injuries in freaking preseason. So they're not winning no Super Bowl. They're not repeating back-to-back. Plus, I'm so sick and tired. You thought I was tired of hearing the Cowboys saying this is our year. I'm so sick and tired of hearing the Rams are going to win it all this year.
Wow.
They're going to be the best team. They're probably going to be the best team in the NFL.
Well, you know what? We've got plenty of time to preview not just NFL, but college football. And thanks for hopping on. Check us out, Driving Top Productions. Marky Mark's got all kinds of football shows, wrestling. What do you have this week?
Well, I'm going to be back on track because I'm back on Wednesdays with On The Go. I'm going live tomorrow to predict a few Week 0 games, not a bunch. I'm going to predict a few. Do my rant, talk about the injuries during preseason and all that and why you should wait and do your fantasy draft after preseason's over, to the shit that happened with the SEC making the announcement to not bring players back from the NFL, to talking the Astros when they want to win, the Dynamo who were in first place and then one loss dropped into the number 2 seed. We're finally going to do some wrestling talk. The stomach virus caught both Rich and I. Rich had it Friday. We canceled Saturday's show, and I'm just recovering from it yesterday. So we've both been under the weather. That's why we've been MIA.
And I think I'm getting a cold. I'm not 100%. By the way, thoughts and prayers with Dolly Parton, who passed away. Family and friend. thoughts with her family, friends, and all Dolly Parton fans. America lost an icon today. And Marcus,
I love
this
that one.
this 2026 college football season is going to be nuts, and I can't wait to watch it.
Oh yes, it will, and it all starts with Lane Kiffin.